Hey everybody, it's Rob Lutz here, and I'm just here to do another song, one of my favorite songs from the history of popular music. This is a blues tune from 1920 called The Crazy Blues. It was originally called the Harlem Blues, written in 1918. I don't know why they changed the name to The Crazy Blues, but I guess the central idea of the song is that this woman is being driven crazy by a lover who won't requite her love or won't be consistent in the way that he treats her. It's written by Perry Bradford, really important African-American songwriter, vaudevillian from Montgomery, Alabama, came to New York and wrote a whole bunch of tunes, including most probably remembered other than Crazy Blues is I Keep a Knockin'. Or You Keep a Knockin', recorded by Little Richard in the 50s. And, Little Richard would go on to say that Perry Bradford was kind of invented the precursor of rock and roll with songs like that. This one was a song that kind of related to two things. One was his belief that there should be a market for African-American music, vocal music, and performed by African Americans, but not in a celebrating the way that they played music at that time, which was very blues influenced. You could say spirituals influenced. You could say influenced by an earlier period of music. And Mamie Smith was the first black blues singer to record a song. So imagine that, 1920. There had been blues done, but they were done instrumental songs like W.C. Handy's Memphis Blues, St. Louis Blues, etc., which were kind of breakthrough songs for the blues, but you never had a black singer singing this music that originated in the African-American community. The other thing about this song is that if you listen to the lyrics, Perry Bradford rallied for this acknowledgement of African-Americans, and he was part of a movement trying to get acceptance, from Scott Joplin, who wrote his opera Treemonisha in 1909 about, asking the question, why can't we assimilate? Why can't we be accepted? Through Andy Razaf doing Black and Blue, which was a little bit later, from Hot Chocolates, another Harlem musical. What did I do to be so black and blue? Like, why am I being mistreated? And this song, a lot of people say it's an allegory. It's about a woman who's, bereft and sort of upset that her man's not treating her right. But a lot of people say that Perry Bradford was telling the story of the African-American community and the white community, and that the woman in the song is the African-American community is like, I can't live because you're not treating me right. And I've got the crazy blues because I just can't seem to make this thing work. And that's, the relationship in the song, but also this other relationship between two groups of people. So he was from Montgomery, Alabama, born in 1893, died in 1970. The singer Mamie Smith sang from the age of 10. She was from Cincinnati. This was really her breakthrough. I mean, she performed, sung in vaudeville, and etc. But this tune, within a month of recording it, it sold 75,000 copies, and a lot of people say it went on to sell 1 million copies, which is astounding. And it really broke the idea or revealed the idea that African-American singers could sell records, and it really was the dawn of the race records divisions of all these companies. This was recorded by Frederick W. Hager, who was from New Milford, Pennsylvania, which is right near the New York border. He was a conservatory-trained violinist, and performed born in 1874, performed through the late 1800s, and won an award actually for his interpretation of Schumann's Traumerei, which is one of my favorite songs. And I will put a link to Traumerei below because it's just such a beautiful song. And he won the Phonoscope Gold Medal for Best Violin Record in 1898, and then began recording for Edison Records in 1899. And Also recorded for Zonophone Records and Columbia Records. So he was a pretty prominent performer on the violin, and then he went on to be the musical director at Okeh Records, which was probably one of the most dynamic independent labels. Literally, Columbia, RCA, Victor Records, Edison Records were the big labels. Okeh was a smaller one, but they pioneered race records with Crazy Blues. They pioneered country with Jimmy Rogers. Ralph Peer was with Okeh Records when he went to Bristol, Tennessee in the later 20s to record the Carter Family and Jimmy Rogers. So this was a really dynamic label, important label. And so he gave the green light for this to happen. Perry Bradford was trying to convince him to record Mamie Smith, and eventually he said okay. And again, this album sold a ton right off the bat, and then went on to be this massive hit. The song is very cool. The recording is unusual. The time is very floating, but very, very cool. And it really was an example of African Americans playing an African American song in a style reminiscent of what they were actually doing. So this is like a little window, the first window really into a vocal performance with a band. And it's just so much funkier than a lot of things going on at the time. So I'm putting a link in there to check out. So this is it, Crazy Blues, recorded by many people over the years, notably in the 70s, Leon Redbone did it. It's done in a lot of keys. I'm doing it in the original key, up 2. So it's an E. I'm doing it in F sharp just to capo it for a better key register, but the actual chord structure that I'm using is actually the original chord structure that was used in the song. So this is called Crazy Blues. Originally, like I said, the Harlem Blues from 1918, Crazy Blues 1920, Mamie Smith and her Jazz Hounds was her band. She had a who's who of players in the band. So those will also be listed below from the original version with a link for that version. So here it is. And listen for the allegory that I was describing about it being not just a man and a woman relationship, but a cultural relationship between blacks and whites in America. And you'll kind of hear what I'm talking about, I think. I can't sleep at night. I can't eat a bite, 'cause the man I love, he don't treat me right. He makes me feel so blue, I don't know what to do. Sometimes I sit and sigh and then begin to cry because my best friend said his last goodbye. There's a change in the ocean, a change in the deep blue sea. My baby, well, I tell you folks, there ain't no change in me. My love for that man will always be. Now I can read his letters, but I sure can't read his mind. No, well, I thought he was loving me, but he was leaving all the time. Well, now I see my poor love was blind. Now I got the crazy blues since my baby went away. Well, I ain't got time to lose, I must find him today. Now the doctor's gonna do all that he can, but what you're gonna need is an undertaker, man. I ain't had nothing but bad news. Now I got the crazy blues. Now the doctor's gonna do all that he can, but what you're gonna need is an undertaker, man. I ain't had nothing but bad news. Now I got the crazy blues. And that song is so much fun to play. It's such a cool, sleepy groove. Check out her version. Check out the time. Try to count it. Try to feel it. It's really, really cool. If you like this, please hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.